The third set of the modal verb conveys the assumption about the present. The speaker applies the modal verb in a clause to describe the experience, condition, or action that the speaker assumes to be actualized, which is not truly actualized at the present. When the conversation with the listeners happens, we assume about the present. Because the subject does not actualize the assumed experience, condition, or action, the modal verb to describe the verb does not signify the information about the subject. The experience, condition, or action indicated by the verb that is described by the modal verb does not describe the present. The modal verb to assume the present does not reveal the information of the subject because the subject does not actualize the definition of the verb. The first set of the modal verb to assume about the present is the modal verb can. The speaker applies the modal verb can to convey the intention that the experience, condition, or action indicated by the verb is not actualized at the present, but will be possible to be actualized in the future. The modal verb can has the definition of the possibility. The speaker assumes condition or action that will be actualized in the future because the past The speaker also conveys the intention to allow the subject, who is not the speaker in the clause, to actualize the definition of the verb with the modal verb can as a way of expressing politeness. The other definition that the modal verb can has is that the speaker allows the subject to actualize the definition of the verb. The speaker expresses the allowance about the definition of the verb in a way to the possibility. The euphemism is applied to express the politeness, to allow the definition of the verb. There is a clause. She can ride a bicycle. The modal verb can is applied by the speaker to convey the intention that the subject, who is a female and a non-participant in the conversation, does not actualize the action indicated by the transitive verb ride, but is possible to actualize the action in the future. The transitive verb ride does not signify the information about the number of the subject and the role in the conversation with the speaker because the action indicated by the transitive verb ride is not actualized at the present when the conversation with the speaker happens. The action of the subject is assumed as one of the possible options. The modal verb and the verb do not signify the information about the subject. The speaker applies the modal verb can to convey the intention of allowance, to actualize the definition of the transitive verb right for the subject of the clause who is a female and a non-participant in the conversation. The subject of this clause is that the speaker. In the perspective of the speaker, the subject is allowed to actualize the action indicated by the transitive verb right. The second sort of the modal verb to convey the assumption about the present is the modal verb may. The speaker applies the modal verb may to convey the intention of the guest that the experience, condition, or action indicated by the verb will be actualized in the future with little possibility. The way to express the guess of the speaker the definition of the verb described by the modal verb may is not actualized at the present. So, the verb described by the modal verb may does not signify the information about the number of the subject and the role of the subject in the conversation with the speaker. The guest, experience, condition, or action the modal verb may and the form of the verb does not reveal the information about the subject. The speaker conveys the genuine intention. The speaker conveys the genuine intention inferred from the intuitive intention to include the guess that the subject who is not the speaker is possible to actualize the definition of the verb. The genuine intention that the speaker wants to convey is that able to be actualized by the subject. The genuine intention that the speaker wants to convey with the modal verb may is that the speaker allows the subject to actualize the definition of the verb in a way of expressing politeness. The euphemism applied in the modal verb may is to express the politeness. The politeness is the reason why the two intentions are stratified. There is a clause. You may close the door. The speaker conveys the intuitive intention to guess without the assurance about whether the subject or the listeners actualize the action indicated by the transitive verb clause or not. The subject of this clause are not the speaker. The speaker conveys the intuitive intention that the speaker guesses the little opportunity that the action indicated by the transitive verb clause will be actualized. The genuine intention that the speaker is able to convey is that the speaker allows the listeners for the subject in the clause to actualize the action indicated by the transitive verb clause. The speaker conveys the genuine intention to allow the subject for the listeners to actualize the action indicated by the transitive verb clause with the intuitive intention to reveal the guess of the speaker. The third modal verb that the speaker applies to convey the assumption about the present is the modal verb must. The speaker describes the definition of the verb applying the modal verb must in a clause to signify that the assumption about the experience, condition, or action to be actualized by the subject is highly justifiable, as much as the obligation of the subject. The speaker signifies the assurance of the speaker with the modal verb must, who trusts the subject to actualize the assumption considered as the obligation by the speaker. The speaker, the strong assumption that even considered as an obligation. The intention of the speaker conveys with the modal verb must is also stratified. The intuitive intention and the genuine intention. The speaker assures that the experience, condition, or action shall be actualized. The genuine intention that the speaker is able to convey is that the speaker believes the subject to actualize the definition of the verb. This genuine intention can be interpreted as an obligation of the subject to actualize the definition of the verb. There is a clause: we must comply with the traffic rules. The speaker signifies the consideration about the condition indicated by the intransitive verb comply with the modal verb must as the obligation that the subject, to include the speaker, are required to actualize. The strong assumption of the speaker about the subject, including the speaker, is interpreted as an obligation of the subject. The speaker reveals the assurance based on the premise that the speaker believes in the subject, including the speaker, to actualize the condition indicated by the intransitive verb comply. The speaker is able to convey the genuine intention that the subject, to include the speaker himself, are assured to actualize the condition indicated by the intransitive verb comply.